Tell you who you are. I remember sleeping, wishing on a
How's it going?
After practice overnight, cleaning, working.
We're gonna get started very soon. Thank you very much for joining in. Mary, Lucas, Free Thoughts, MCPD. We're gonna talk about pain as motivation. You've been feeling a bit down, feeling pressured, ever suffered, ever had hard times? Then this is for you. Maybe you're struggling right now. Hey Wendy, Angel Wings, much love. Thank you very much for joining in. Alright, we're listening to Dax, Self-Proclaimed 4, whilst we're waiting for people to join in. Listen to the lyrics.
I'm the realest. I don't need a cosign from nobody if they ain't said nothing by now.
Hey, just call Menti, Sawinchi. How's it going? Much love. Thank you very much for joining in. Pain is motivation. We're listening to a bit of Dax, Self-Proclaimed 4, whilst we're waiting for people to join in. People can't cancel me. I'm already crazy. 1/4 of me is all of you, so half of me is 2 of you, and 4 of you is all of me. You'll need a whole army if you're thinking about stopping me in 5 lifetimes. If you're thinking you can copy me, I beat in poverty, went to war and beat mediocrity. My life is mine. I'm holding that shit like I'm doing pottery. I'm not scared of failure. I embrace it and chase it. If there's a 1% chance I can do it, I take it. I took the hate they all threw, sat down and I ate it, then took the motivation from it, turned to one of the greatest. And now every time I drop, I know I'm making a statement, replacing every single person that you got on your plate. I'm not a product of the system, that's why no one can break it. I'm trying to change the whole game, man. Fuck being famous, dog. I'm self-proclaimed and I ain't never changed. I rock the same clothes and still got the same chain. It's a reminder when I hooped and I would go and get my jersey, and those people didn't even know my name. Well, now I know you see it. They told me leave, I made a promise they would all feel it. I couldn't find a change, so I said all it. So I hope that y'all know this is Dax fucking self-proclaimed for y'all. This is motivation. For every single chance you ain't taking, any rule that's in your way, you better break it. Shut up, embrace it. The pain is up to requisite. Without it, how the fuck you think you ever gon' make it? The sweat is your payment. Fucking escalator, take the stairs to the top, right from the fucking basement. Your life is a statement. Leave a legacy and stop waiting. Get your ass up today and start chasing. It's that motivation. Yeah. Pain is your fucking motivation. Get your fucking ass up and do something. Lazy motherfuckers out there, man, today. Alright, so wake your ass up. It's time to wake your ass up again. People are lacking motivation, lacking discipline, but without motivation, you're gonna lack discipline. So let's talk a bit about that today. Obviously offer a lot of techniques, breath work, meditation, qigong, but if you ain't doing it, what's the fucking point? For that, you need motivation. But people get depressed, they get down, people have hard times. I've had hard times, man, for fuck's sake. I'm 44 years old now. I grew up
without a dad mostly, right? My dad died when I was 7 years old. My dad suffered pain. My dad had motor neuron disease from the age of 26. He was paralyzed from the waist down. I never heard my dad speak. I never saw him walk. Well, at least I don't remember it. My mother had 3 kids. To bring up. And my dad died when he was 32 years old. Pain. My mama suffered pain. We all come to life through fucking pain. There is no birth without pain. There is no birth without pain. Pain is a prerequisite for growth. Prerequisite. So, we all suffer. We all have to grow. So my motivation initially when I was creating my businesses, when I started to create my own trading business, well, actually to motivate myself to succeed in anything, you know. So my motivation was not having a father and seeing my mum suffer and struggle, having to work 7 days a week to bring up 3 kids. So that was my motivation. The pain was my motivation. Every time, pain is my motivation. Every time I had to grow, pain is my motivation. Without pain, you don't grow. Unfortunately, people have to be pushed to the point where they have pain and they suffer in order to get that slap on the face, to wake up, get their lazy fucking ass up and do something. Because that's what it's all about. It's about getting your lazy fucking ass up and doing something. We're just in a world of lazy motherfuckers. Procrastination is the biggest nation in the fucking world. People always putting shit off. I've been there, done that. Still struggle with procrastination, but it's one of the biggest things that holds people back. Putting things off. Mañana, I'll do it tomorrow. I mean, how many people have joined my breathwork course, which is completely free, 8 modules. I've made it easy for people to access it. It's free on themindofmatter.com. But I can see how many people start it and how much is completed. Less than 10%, I would actually say less than 6%, to be specific, have actually even started the course. Because people do not value what's free. They do not value it. So they do not do it. This is the problem with free information. People do not value it. So it's hard to get people to hear the message and actually follow through when the information is free. So you think you make it easy for people by making it easily accessible and free. But people still don't do it because of lack of motivation. Now you're only going to either be a destructive or you're going to be creative. You're either going to be destroying your dream or you're going to be creating your dream. Even when you're doing nothing, wasting time, wasting days, like Carpe Diem in my book. Carpe Diem, live the dream. It's a big thing in my book, right? Seize the day. Seize the day. Like every day. This is the dream. And it's expiring. The pendulum is swinging. It doesn't matter whether you do anything or not that day. But if you forget to seize one day, you've lost that day forever. Every day. This is why I do so many lives. This is why I serve so passionately with my businesses, with the work that I do aside from this. This is not my business. I don't make money from the Mind of Matter. If anything, I lose money. Because I'm shipping books for free to people and abroad at the moment. Right? Yes, people have been buying my book, but not enough to cover my costs. Absolutely not. Right? So it costs me money to serve others. I do not make money from this. It costs me money. So it's not about money. Money can never be your motivation. Because when you're not making money, how are you going to get your fucking ass up? I mean, as a trader, stock market trader, that's the big business that I run, the tradingframework.com. Right? I got an interview this weekend. Work a trading company on Saturday. Okay, but I've been doing that since 2003. But what motivated me to start my own business was the pain and suffering. Seeing my mother grow and have to work 7 days a week to just provide for her 3 kids because we didn't have a dad. Because he died when he was only 32. right? Then, you know, more recently, I suffered the loss in December 2018, the loss of my brother, my older brother, who became like my father figure. I went into depression, deep depression, because me and him were not only, he was like my father figure, but he was like my brother. He was my brother, but we was best friends. We had the same friends, right? Thank you. We have the best friends. We have the same friends. Right? So we basically, we live together. We work together even at many jobs. We lived together when I was at university. We went out together. So he was my bro, but bro, best friend, father figure. So I lost him. I went into deep depression. When I actually had, you know, some financial freedom, pretty successful in my business. So, you know, money is doesn't make you immune from depression. How many multimillionaires I know depressed and miserable? Money doesn't make you immune from depression and being miserable. How many multimillionaires out there are miserable? Money doesn't make you happy. It can help provide you experiences that can provide you temporary pleasures, of course. But true happiness, joy comes from your heart. Joy comes from serving others. This is why I do. Because this is why this is not about money. Because this is about serving others. That's why I just freely provide information. Because I've been through a lot. And I've suffered. And I've always just wanted someone to fucking help me. So, if you have a heart and you help yourself through pain and suffering, and you figure out how to do it, selfless service to mankind means you should share it. Like I'm doing. I mean, I only started this page last year, June 2021. 12,500 followers now on here, 103,000 followers on Facebook. But it's all through giving and sharing. Unconditional love. Living like Jesus. Living like Buddha. Like, don't read their fucking stories. Become them. Live like them. So pain is your motivation. Pain is your motivation. You will, without a doubt, feel pain and suffer in life. Without a doubt. It's guaranteed. Whether it's physical pain, mental, emotional pain, you're going to get it. So as I've said, losing my father at a young age, pain, suffering. Watching my mother suffer, having to work 7 days a week just to make ends meet. Pain, suffering. Watching my brother die. My brother died from alcohol abuse. Okay? I had to watch him in his bed with swollen legs, yellow. I spoke about this before. Massaging his legs whilst he's on his deathbed because of his failing liver and kidneys due to poison, alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol. So that pain, suffering made me wake up to the poison that alcohol was. Because we used to drink together all the time. That was either going to be me or him. I survived. He didn't. He suffered depression and turned to alcohol. I was suffering to depression and turned to cocaine and alcohol. I overcame addiction, depression. But the biggest wake-up call for me was losing my brother. That pain, that suffering, was another slap around the face. So that's the way God works. He slaps you around the face through pain and suffering. To give you that wake-up call. And people need it right now because people are lazy motherfuckers. I mean, people are not following through, even doing the courses that I'm providing out of love and free. Right? And I know how much it can change their lives. But that's not down to me. The discipline, the motivation is down to you. I can't make you get up and do something every fucking day. Only you can do that. Right? Only you can do that. So, let's listen to a song, Legacy, by Big Moo. Listen to some lyrics.
Most people, their lives are just mulling along. They get excited to watch fucking football on the weekends. Get hammered. Hate waking up to their job in the morning on Mondays. Stuffed down, shut down, suppressed, depressed.
www.themindofmatter.com. The link is in the bio, my friend.
Energetic
All my links are in the bio on my page, The Mind of Matter, at The Mind of Matter on Instagram. The website is www.themindofmatter.com. If you're looking for the Mind of Matter website, depends what website you're looking for. If you're looking for Commotion Qigong, it's commotion.net. If you're looking for my trading business, which I've started since 2003, that's the www.thetradingframework.com. So I have multiple websites. All my websites are in my bio. I don't just do this. This is my service to mankind. My business, different things. All my links are in the bio. The podcast, Facebook page, the new Facebook page, the Mind of Matter page, the Kambo Facebook page with 103,000 followers plus, the podcast, Beyond Enlightenment podcast, the trading framework for my business stuff. Some people ask about it. So that's about futures market trading. The breathwork course, the link is in the bio. That's on themindofmatter.com. Commotion.net is for the Qigong specifically. So it depends what you're after, my friend, but all the links are in the bio. Oh, sorry, I better put the song on from the beginning again. Listen to the lyrics.
Most people, their lives are just mulling along. They get excited to watch fucking football on the weekends. Get hammered. Hate waking up to it.
That is exactly it. People are just mulling a fucking along. They're just mulling along. That ain't no way to live life. As I said yesterday in yesterday's life, you can be alive. You'll stay alive until you die. That's no problem. That is the problem for people, because there's no need for people to do anything until they suffer, or the pain is so much. When the pain gets so much, when you're put up against the wall, then people take action. But why fucking wait? Because without a doubt, those moments are going to come. You are going to have those moments when your back is against the wall and you will suffer. And the pain will be so much and you will have no fucking choice but to change. But you do not have to wait for that moment.
In the morning on Mondays. Stuff down, shut down, suppress, depress. The true energetic expression is the things that they want to do, people that they want to become, who they want to be. And that is a trade-off for stability, for your safe, comfortable situation. Me, I'd rather live dangerously than humbly. Do all that you can this day. Give it all. Spend yourself. If you can do more sprints, do more sprints. But when it's done, it's done. If you can't get up out of bed, that means that there's nothing in your life that is so important that you can't just get your ass up out of bed. You have nothing to live for, quite frankly. Because when you are moving towards something that's important to you, when you've got a big vision, you don't want to sit there. You can't rest. Every single waking moment of your day is dedicated to moving forward. And sleep is a waste of fucking time, right? And physiologically, of course, that only helps them say, well, you need sleep, supports your hormones. But what I'm saying is that your vision, your mission, your goal, the bigger picture, how you're going to support other people, what you're going to build, create, and offer to the world means far more than if you have travel to sleep. You're not happy, you're not tired, you're not even overwhelmed. You find out walking away and overcome that challenge of your feelings, you make that shit happen. You understand? Thing that a man can do is to listen to his heart and to follow it, because it always leads to what is pleasing in the end. The fastest Band-Aid ripped off remedy is to do the thing you're afraid to do. It may be difficult in the beginning, it may be difficult for years, but you will die on your deathbed feeling a strong sense of integrity and loyalty to your heart. You can't buy that. You grow stronger not for yourself in this mere moment you spend on earth. You grow stronger for your legacy. For those who might not never know your name, because they need you. And we need you. Keep going. As dark as it gets, keep going. As difficult as it gets, as much as it seems as if the world is crumbling down around you, there's no way out. Keep fucking going.
Legacy. You gotta have a compelling future, man. Don't matter what's happened in the past. If you ain't got a compelling future, you will not be motivated. You will not be disciplined. If you keep focusing on what's happened, your attention is on what you cannot change. You cannot touch the fucking past. It's not here anymore. It only exists as a memory. The past is always just a memory. The future is just a conjecture. It's imagination. And that's the power of imagination, because imagination creates your dreams. If you look around the world around you, you will only see people's dreams that have come alive. My book is called Live the Dream. We are co-creators in this dream. God's the dreamer that created nature, created us, created the animals, created the world, created life, created the universe, created the planets, created the cosmos. That's God. God is the dreamer of that. We are co-creators within the dream. We're the dreamers of the dream, right? As my book says, live the dream. We are the dreamers of the dream. Do not forget that. Don't just... If your dream is being dreamt for you, you've lost control. You got to remember you're the dreamer of the fucking dream. Your pain is your prerequisite. Your pain, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, is your prerequisite for growth. That's why you're not born without your mother going through pain. Pain leads to birth. And also, pain leads to rebirth. I've been reborn many times in this life. I'm reborn again. Every time I'm reborn, I turn my pain into my motivation. I have to suffer enough pain for me to get motivated enough to make the change again. Every time I make the change, I am reborn better, stronger, mentally, spiritually, physically. That is how growth happens. That is how rebirth happens. That is the metaphor of being crucified and being reborn and resurrected in this fucking life.
Tiger.
Right? You're meant to die and be reborn many times. You're meant to shed old skin. Because you got to remember who you are. And you only remember who the fuck you are by forgetting who you are not. So you got to keep realizing who you are not. Because every time you suffer, every time pain pushes you up against the wall and you feel like you can't do anymore, you will get to a point where your mental toughness will win. But it takes mental strength. It takes motivation. So when I was suffering depression, pills don't help. The doctors are just going to stuff you with pills. Make you more depressed. And then you got to suffer the consequences of trying to come off them. Medication is bullshit. Okay? Masks the symptoms. The pain and the suffering is there for you to grow. Whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical. Okay? 10 years ago, I had neuropathic pain all over my body. Didn't know what it was. For 2-3 years, doing all sorts of tests. The only thing my mind was telling me, maybe cancer or whatever. When you don't find the answer, your mind starts to think of the worst. That's it. That is called worrying. And you have two kinds of worries: practical worries or impractical worries. Impractical worries are worries which you can't really do anything about. And really, you don't even know if they're true. So, a lot of the time, if you're just worrying about shit, ask yourself, is it true? If you're scared about something, is it true? Because most of the time, you're worrying about stuff that isn't true. But getting out of your mind and getting into your body is absolutely essential. Like, we live in a sedentary fucking world. People are out of shape. Really unhealthy. When I was depressed, I started to get overweight. The pills that they were giving me, olanzapine especially as a mood stabilizer, started to cause me to get really overweight. When I come off that, my weight just started dropping off. When I came off the antidepressants, what I needed to do was make sure I replaced it with something. So when you get rid of all that bullshit, the drugs, you got to do something. So I knew when I came off the bullshit pills that I needed to do something. I can't just stop them and do nothing about it. So I created a program, MX6, okay? 6 M's that I followed every day. So every morning, get your fucking ass up. That's the first M. Morning. Your day always starts with your morning. You get your morning right, you will get your day right. Or your day will at least be much better. So every morning, journal, write down what's on your mind. Then go for a walk. Just go for a walk. I live in the countryside, so I go for a walk in nature. It's a walking meditation for me. Whatever is on my mind, whatever problems, just write it down, whatever's on your mind. And then walk with it. Walk with your shadow. You will process it. You will process it. You just walk with it. You need alone time. Don't sit with it, because that will drive you fucking crazy. That's what leads to depression. Trying to sit and be still with your problems. When you are depressed, to the point, especially when you're to the point where you're suicidal, you can't sit there and relax and meditate. You got to get moving. Got to get out of your mind and into your body. Get moving. Get moving. Emotion. Energy in motion. When energy is not moving, you will feel the emotion stronger. It's that simple. If you sit with your emotions, they're going to be stronger. You move with your emotions, they're going to start to drop off and you're going to overpower them. This is why exercising is essential. Doesn't matter how much, it's essential. Like, you can't develop spiritually if you're not developing mentally and physically. Because spiritual development is about mental and physical mastery. Your soul only develops when you develop physically and mentally. Because your soul is connected to those two. Your soul is expressing itself mentally, physically. So how can it grow if you do not grow mentally and physically? It cannot. This is why pain and suffering is provided. For you to wake up and recognize I need to do something, and nobody else is going to do it for me. It takes discipline. It takes motivation. So the next thing after morning, the next M is motivation. So I listen to stuff like this. What I'm listening to now, what I just played, Legacy by Big Moo. That's Elliot Hulse on the soundtrack. And I used to listen to Elliot Hulse a lot. So when I was suffering from neuropathic pain all over my body, I had sharp shooting nerve pains all through my body. Didn't know what was causing it. For 3 years, had all sorts of tests. The thing that they can only find is that it may be something that leads to stiff person syndrome, which is actually a pretty serious disease. And I wasn't accepting that. So I started to make a big difference in my physical. I took control. So that pain was my motivation again. So I talked about pain motivation when I lost my father. My mum had to work 7 days a week to bring up 3 kids. That was my pain motivation to create my business and to provide for her. When my pain and motivation, my brother died, and I had to suffer with overcoming depression and addiction. I had to get to the point when only me could help me, and God, because God's the only thing that's really there that can truly help you and guide you when you're on the path. But when you start doing and you start moving forward on the journey, that's when the God, divine, helps you. Because when you're doing nothing, how can you be helped? You need to help yourself first before anyone can help you. So getting up early in the morning was the first step. Because when you're depressed, one of the things that you'll realize is that you won't want to get up. You will want to sleep more. So that's a symptom of depression. Because if you don't want to live life, you're depressed. Because you're alive, you should be living it. As I said, you're going to stay alive and die. That's no problem. But are you actually living? There's a massive difference between being alive and living. And most people are not living, they're just mulling along, getting by. They're not living, they're alive. There's a massive difference. There's a massive difference between just living. The massive difference between just being alive and actually living your life. So this is why my book is called Live the Dream. You're the dreamer of the dream. This is for you to create your magic. This is your playground God created for you. Your blessing is that you're here. Every day, carpe diem, seize the fucking day. If you can, you can. Like with my slip disc. So I've had the neuropathic pain for over 10 years. But I mastered it. This is why I went into Qigong and mastering energy. So much. Because I wanted to heal myself. And I did heal myself. Neuropathic pain has gone. I no longer have the neuropathic pain that the doctors couldn't find the answer for. I cured it myself through meditation and Qigong. So, and I continue to heal myself. And I continue to, when the pain and suffering, like now I have a slip disc, which I've had, which has really been causing me a problem in the last year. But it hasn't stopped me. In the last year, whilst I've had the slip disc, I've lost 40 pounds in weight, in fat loss, and gained muscle, and become healthier. I've been the healthiest, probably best shape in my life for the last 4 years, 5 years probably, with a slip disc in my back, and I had sciatica 4 months of this year. So there, you can always create excuses. I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Everyone's always fucking making excuses. That's you limiting yourself. It's doubts, it's limitations. Anything that limits you is holding you back, becoming who you have the possibility of becoming. Anything that limits you. And that will be your thoughts, limiting beliefs. Doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. Those 3 things hold you back. So we overcome it with belief, confidence, and energy. So we master belief, confidence, and energy. But becoming energized is the key thing. Get energy, because energy just deals with a lot. The pain is your motivation to get your ass up. You will, at some point, if you're suffering from depression or feeling sorry for yourself or being miserable, you will at some point have enough of it, and you will realize that it's only you that could change it anyway. It's just most people don't make the change until it gets to the point where it's enough is enough. But as I say, you don't have to wait to that point. I shouldn't have had to wait for a neurological disorder for me to really take control of my health. You know, like now I'm motivated more than ever because of a physical issue as well, right? Slip disc. But I know if I keep working on it, everything is energy. I can also heal that. So I keep working on it. Okay. I wouldn't be doing my stretches and my physiotherapy if that pain wasn't there. Right. Actually, what got me off my arse and started to walk every day, and I lost over 40 pounds last year, was actually because I was having pain in my hip from sitting around too much. So the pain always really is just a slap around the face to get your ass up and start doing something about it. So you can sit with it and be miserable, whether it's mental, emotional, physical pain, or you can do something about it. But getting moving, like getting walking. So the first thing, the MX6 thing that I spoke about, the 6 M's, morning, motivation. Listen to something motivational. First thing in the morning. Right? Something like, just search motivation on Spotify or YouTube. Right? Listen to something motivational. I'll put something on in a minute. Then the other M is meditation. So for me, going for a walk in nature is meditation, like listening to the birds first thing in the morning, listening to the wind rustling through the trees, just being around nature. That's a walking meditation. So I'm meditating. So morning, I'm listening to something motivational, then I'm meditating, okay? And then motion is the other M, okay? Make sure you're moving. Make sure you're moving. Doesn't matter how much, right? You don't have to go for a run. This is why I say just go for a walk. Walk is a walk cures so many things. Just a walk by yourself. Doesn't even have to be in nature. But put your headphones on if you're going around the streets, because you want to... Headphones on, welled off. That's it. You'll be in your own world. You can sit with your... You can walk. Walk with your emotions. Walk with your thoughts. Don't sit with them. Don't sit with them. It's very hard to overcome if you're sitting with it. Make sure you're moving. So motion, that's why it's one of the M's. Music. For me, music heals my soul. I just put music on, I feel better. Doesn't matter how shit I feel. Music, put music on, good music, uplifting music, I'm going to feel better. Don't underestimate the power of music. Right? And the last M, the sixth one, is mindset. Make sure you're doing something every day to develop your mindset. Whether it's just reading a bit of a book, reading just a page or two. Don't even have to be a lot. Just one page is better than no pages. But something positive going into your mind other than the bullshit that's already there. The bullshit that's holding you back, that is. Right? So you're limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs. You need to bring new, fresh, positive information in to replace that bullshit. Stop listening to the radio station that isn't serving you. You're only tuned into that bullshit. You do not have to listen to it. You're only hearing thoughts because everything is sound. This is why you hear thoughts. Everything is sound frequencies. Sound frequency vibrations. This is why we hear our thoughts. But you do not have to listen to the shit song if you do not like listening to it. But that's what people do when they sit there in bed and they're depressed. What they do is sit and listen to the shit song on repeat. So it's self-sabotage. You're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Right, okay, I want to put a motivational soundtrack on. So this is the 6 M's again. Right? I've done videos on this. There's actually a whole video on my IGTV tab. A number of times I spoke about the MX6 for motivation, MX6 program. So it's 6 M's. That's why it's called MX6. And there's videos on my YouTube on it too. YouTube channel links in the bio too. But MX6 is 6 M's. The first one, morning. Master your morning. If you get your morning right, you will get your day right. And what is life? It's just a number of days. That's all life is. Life is just days. But if you keep getting every morning right, you've better chance of getting your day right. And then you're getting your life right. That's the magic formula. Get your morning right. Then you will get your day right and your life will be right. Got a question. If you keep listening to positive stuff or seeing only the same positive stuff, does that get boring or boost motivation even more? If you keep listening to positive stuff or seeing only the same positive stuff, well, listen to new positive stuff. If it gets boring, that's a personal thing, right? I mean, I can listen to the same positive soundtracks many times, but yeah, after you've heard it on repeat too many times, it might get a bit repetitive. So change the soundtrack. It's not like there's a shortage of motivational soundtracks out there and motivational speeches you can listen to. They're in abundance. There's millions of them. Just go to Spotify and search motivation. So if you get bored, fucking change the channel. That's a personal thing, man. Like if you get bored, you got bored. If you're getting bored, you need to change something because you can't be affording to get bored. You can't be getting bored. You cannot be getting bored if you're trying to grow. If you're getting bored whilst you're trying to grow, you need to change something. You cannot keep doing the same thing if you're getting bored. No, absolutely not. Don't do it if you're getting bored because if it's boring, it's not motivational, is it? It's counterproductive. It's the opposite of motivational. So how can it be motivational and boring at the same time? It cannot. It cannot. It's impossible. If it's boring, it cannot be motivating you. So absolutely, if it's boring you, stop listening to it. You've outgrown it. Like there's some songs I love, which I love to hear, and they motivate me. But then sometimes I hear it and I think, I'm not really feeling that today. So sometimes it can just be on the day, like you want to hear something different. So, always follow your heart, follow your intuition. That's always the right way. It's not even about what you think. Like a lot of the time, what I do on Spotify, I put it on shuffle play. I put a motivational playlist on. Like a Fearless Motivation have got some really good motivational playlists. Fearless Motivation. Okay, I played a song by Dax earlier, Self-Proclaimed 4. That was a really good one, right? Elliot Hulse, that was the Legend tune I played by Big Moo earlier. Now, I love listening to that one. It doesn't really get boring. But when I first heard it, it used to really get me fired up. It's not that it don't get me fired up now, but when I first heard it, it was really firing me up. So yeah, it does change. It's like, you can listen to, like, Tony Robbins is one of my gurus. I've respected Tony Robbins a long time, and I've been on Unleash the Power Within events since 2003. I went in 2005, 2008. I went again 2 years ago. But his stuff, he's been saying the same stuff for over 20 years. He just changes the way he says it. But I still listen to it again. Like, repetition is key as well. Like, sometimes we don't need new information. We just need to hear the same thing again and again. Like, there is this addiction to more information. Like, definitely that's a bad thing. I've learned from that. Like, I've got thousands of books. I've probably read maybe 10% of my books, and that's not even all of them. So, we get addicted to information and we don't do anything with it. So this is why, like, people feel better. It's an ego thing. Like, they buy a book and they think, I bought the book. It's like my course. There's a free breathwork course, Kambo breathwork course, 8 modules. It's completely free on themindofmatter.com. People sign up for it, but they won't do it because they haven't paid anything for it. So there's no value for them. Like, so this is why I pay for courses. I buy and invest in my development. I will hire a coach. Like, when I really wanted to get fit a few years ago and I went into intermittent fasting, I hired a coach. Okay? The people hire coaches. This is why people hire me in the trading business. So my main business is the tradingframework.com. So people hire me, pay me thousands and thousands of pounds to teach them discipline, mindset, and trading strategies. Okay, it's what I've been doing for over 20 years. But I have value. I've added value to myself as an individual, and people buy me because I'm the valuable product. But they invest in me so I can invest in them. But then people pay for something, they really get disciplined and they really get motivated because they've paid for that discipline and motivation. So it works that way. So sometimes, like, people, I've done a promotion on my book, Live the Dream, like a free ebook, right? The Kindle version was free for 3 days. And I had thousands of people get it. But probably less than 10% are actually going to read it, let alone do anything with it. Because this is what happens with free information. Even though it's good information, like these lives that I do on this page, every fucking day are awesome. I know that. There is not a lot of better information out there. But because it's free, people do not value it. Or they value it less. That's just the way it goes. Because people buy something, they value it. Like somebody, if I gave you a car, you won't probably look after it as well as if you spent £50,000 on it. It's just the way it goes. That's value. That's what value is. People focus on what they assign value to. So people do not value change and growth until they have enough pain and suffering. So they, like, if you don't have to grow, like, things are okay. This is why people just accept mediocrity. Like, they just accept being mediocre because it's easier. It's the easy way. The easy way, because as I said, you're alive until you die. You're not going to stop being alive. But there's a massive difference between being alive and actually living whilst you're alive. There's a massive difference. Like, I can be alive and just go about my day, like Elliot Hulse said in that song that I just played, Legacy. People are just going along, just mulling along every day. No real vision or mission. Every morning I get up, I write down, what am I gonna fucking achieve today? In my business as a trader, what's my goal objectives? What am I looking to make? How much am I looking to make? Here, how many people am I gonna turn up and how am I gonna serve people today? Because this is my service to humanity. This is my unconditional love. This is my spiritual growth development. So we only grow and develop spiritually when we selflessly serve others. That's the most important spiritual practice, as Jesus shared, as Buddha shared, as Guru Nanak shared in Sikhism. Seva, service to mankind, is the greatest spiritual act. When you give selflessly and you help others, that's why I do this. I don't care about the money. I do it because it's building value in my heart. I don't take the money in my bank account when I die. And I've had enough scares in my life. My brother died when he was 43, that I spoke about 4 years ago. I'm 44 now. My dad died when he was 32. My grandfather died when he was 58. As far as I'm concerned, life doesn't last that long. So I come here every day giving like I'm going to die tomorrow. That's why people don't understand my passion and my commitment to this. Because I live like I'm going to die tomorrow every day. That's what it takes to seize the day. I've had to have the scare that I've got cancer, I had neuropathic pain, not know what's going on. I had to accept that I might die tomorrow. And I've been accepting that I might die tomorrow for many years. That's what makes me grow. Because every day I know I might not be alive the next day. But people are mulling along thinking that they've got forever. You haven't. The pendulum is swinging. Everyone has an expiry date in this life. I am a mentor. TheTradingFramework.com is what I do. That's my business. That's what I do for a living. I'm a mentor. I'm a coach. So, thank you. I should become what I am. I am a coach. I am a mentor. I am a guru. For myself and others. That's what I do. That's what I live for. That is my passion. Right? All my links are in the bio. My book, Live the Dream, is all about making sure you do not live and accept mediocrity. You do not have to. God has given you the gift of life. Every day, every breath is a blessing. Every word is a blessing. I do not actually converse a lot. I do not have a lot of conversations with people outside of when I'm coaching. I save my words and my energy for teaching and serving others. Like people I talk a lot here. But conversations, I haven't got time for most small talk conversations, bullshit conversations most human beings are having today. Talking about nonsense. Just to make themselves feel better. I haven't got time for that bullshit. I'm here to serve humanity and mankind and help people grow, and that's it. You know, people either accept that, take it for what it is, or they don't. But at least I know who I am and what my purpose is in life. That's what everyone needs to do. You need to find your purpose. As I said, the pain and the motivation is what made me grow and continues to make me grow. That's the purpose of this speech today, the purpose of this message today. Everyone will have pain. Everyone will feel depressed. But as I said, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling down, you will have bad days. That's a given. Bad things happen to good people. Doesn't matter how good you become. People have this misconception that the better I come, the more I develop physically, mentally, spiritually, less bad things happen to me. Not necessarily the case. My mum is the most spiritual person I know. Goes to the temple every day, prays every morning, afternoon, praying all day long. She lost her husband when he was 32 years old. She lost her firstborn son when he was 43 years old. But she was rewarded with them both being taken away, with me growing her youngest son. As a result of those pains, those what people may label as bad things. Like, people always say it to me all the time when I say my dad died when I was 7, my brother died. People always say, I'm sorry. But it's not about being sorry. This is life. Everyone is going to die. I'm going to die. Everyone here is going to fucking die. Like, I just speak the truth. People pretend like they're not going to die. Yes, you are. And this life, the time is running out. Stop waking up every day like it's going to go on forever. And wasting time. Your pain is your motivation. If you're depressed, you're feeling shit, that's your reason to change. That is your sign. Like, God keeps sending signs. Like, people keep saying, where's God? Where's God? Right? God, like, there's a story like someone's on a cliff and they're waiting for God, and the helicopter comes by and they say, no, I'm waiting for God. God will come and save me. And another helicopter comes by and they say, no, I'm waiting for God. God will come and save me. And then like 10 helicopters go by. I don't know what the exact story is, but the moral of the story is God was sending the fucking helicopters, but they kept missing them. So God is sending you the signals all the time, but you're not doing anything about it. The pain and the suffering is the signal to do something about it and start changing. If you're not feeling good, mentally, physically, spiritually, it's a sign that you need to change. And only you can make that change. That's why pain is your motivation. Nobody else is going to do it for you. There is no outside savior that's going to come and do it for you. You are your savior. You have to save yourself. Right? I have had to save myself a number of times. Right? I could sit there and live in depression. I could sit there and be miserable that I haven't got a dad. I could sit there in misery saying my mum has to work 7 days a week. Oh, how are we going to make ends meet? No. Fuck that bullshit. I'm not accepting this. I'm going to make the change. So as I was 14 years old, I created my first business when I was 16 as a DJ. Because my mum suffered. Because I didn't like the suffering. I didn't like that we were suffering and she was suffering. So I'm a self-made individual. Everyone's a self-made individual. No one is made by anyone else. Yes, other people can motivate you. They can inspire you. That's why I help try to just pray to God that I can help inspire and motivate people and let them make their own changes. That's all it is. But when you make the change yourself, and you can help yourself, and you do help yourself, you will want to help others. Because that's all I ever wanted. When I was suffering, I wanted someone to help me. So what I try to do is share the information that I needed when I was suffering. That's what I do on this page. And try to help people, because for some people at the right time, it's going to come for them. And it literally is saving lives. Like, I know my brother died from depression and alcohol addiction. I had to massage his yellow legs because of the liver, the jaundice, right? Because of the liver failure. I had to wash my brother's body. Right? I had to suffer that pain as my wake-up call. Like, I was drinking alcohol, doing drugs. Look what it done to my brother. It changed me. I gave up alcohol, gave up drugs, gave up my addictions. I started to change myself. So it's always a blessing in disguise. The blessings always come in disguise. Always. So, even like, people find it strange when I say like losing my father, losing my brother were blessings in disguise. Because the thing is, death is not something to be feared. It's going to happen for we will lose people. We will lose things. This is the way we grow. Detachment. Attachment is the root of all suffering, as Buddha said. When you remain attached to people, things, you suffer. When you learn to let go, that's how you grow. As I learned to let go of them physically, I connected with them spiritually. I let go of my losing my father physically and stopped worrying about that. He guided me. His spirit guided me over the last 20 years. Right? This book, The Opening of the Third Eye by Dr. Douglas Baker. My dad was reading this, and on the back of the book, this book fell off my bookshelf 3 times by itself. When I was 13, 14 and 15, the third time I picked it up and read it, I noticed he wrote on the back, and I've actually got this in my own book, "The truth is high, living the truth is higher still." He wrote that in Punjabi and English because he left a message for me. So yes, my dad died, but God had a plan. My dad had a plan. Right? This book has been very influential for what I've been sharing. It's what I've been becoming. So yes, my dad died, but the message didn't die. The truth is high, living the truth is still higher. You can know truth, but if you're not living it, it's useless. That's the point. A lot of people know truths, but because they're not living it, they're useless. Like, what's the point of knowing about unconditional love if you're not living it? People talking about Jesus had a great message, unconditional love and serving others. But why are you not serving other people? Why are you not living like Jesus? Stop putting other people on the pedestal and start living like the people we're supposed to be like. Right? Buddha, compassion, kindness for all living things. Live like Buddha. Live like Jesus. Live like Guru Nanak did. Seva, service to mankind and remembering God every day. Live like them and then you become like them. Then you will know God. You can't just know and read the Bible, read the Guru Granth Sahib, read the Quran. You can't read about it and know it and do nothing and gain anything. You can't gain anything without doing. You can know as much as you like, but that information is just going to die in your fucking head if you do nothing with it. It's going to decay with the rest of your body. It's useless if nothing is done with it. So the pain is the motivation to get stuff done. All right, so I'm going to leave you with another soundtrack. So these are the motivational soundtracks. Go to listen to Motiversity or Fearless Motivation for some motivational stuff. If you're struggling, just day by day, start with one day tomorrow. Get up earlier and listen to something motivational first thing in the morning. And move. Make sure you move first thing in the morning. Just go for a walk. Do not sit there and do nothing. Make sure you move. Get up and move and listen to something motivational. It will change your day. And therefore, it will change your life. It's that simple. Because if you get your morning right, you will get your day right. And you get your days right, your life gets better. Your life gets right. It's that simple. That is the magic formula to a better life. Get your morning right, get your day right. Life is nothing but a series of days. So if you're getting every morning right, every day right, you set yourself up for every morning through planning, preparation. I mean, that's what I do for trading. Stock market trading is all about planning, preparing. Always prepare for the worst, but at least when the worst comes, you know how to handle it. I'm always prepared for a knockout. I'm always prepared to be knocked out every day. But because I'm prepared to be knocked out, I don't get knocked out. Because, and Sun Tzu said, in the Art of War, it's a great book, Sun Tzu, right? Victorious warriors win first and then go to battle. It's the defeated warriors, they go to battle and then look to win. You need to win first, in your mind and first thing in the morning. Then you will win the day. And then you will win at life. But people are just getting up, mulling along. Lazy bastards. Right? So you gotta make the change, man. When It Hurts. Let's listen to When It Hurts. Coach Payne and Motiversity. Listen to the lyrics.
It hurts sometimes when you feel alone. It hurts sometimes when you're in that dark place and you feel no one cares about you. The first thing you got to realize is that you got to love yourself. It's about self-love. Start understanding that if you're going to do something with your life, you got to fall in love with yourself again. You got to stop self-hating yourself. Do something that's going to make you a better person. Make an impact in this world. Don't Don't look at it as though it's something that you got to do temporary. Although we know that life is short, like many people in this world, they didn't realize that the next day they was going to be diagnosed with a cancer. They thought that tomorrow was going to be waiting for them, and they did not wake up. But you are still living. Now, what do you have to do? How are you going to move forward? How are you going to proceed your life? Life is not a game. Life is living. There's the good and there's the bad, and there's definitely the right now. You can't wait for somebody else to make your life better. You got to make your life better. You got to focus on you. Now, I'm not saying forget the rest of the people, but I'm telling you.
As I was saying, only you can make the difference. No one else is going to do it for you. No one. Stop waiting, stop wasting days. Procrastination is the biggest nation in the world. You do not need to belong to it. No tomorrow, always now, today.
Don't you give up on life, because once your life is over, you can't come back. Leave your mark. Help someone. Lift someone up when they're down. Be the strength for others when they're weak. And maybe when you're at the weakest point in your life, someone will lift you up. Because we all struggle.
That's what we're doing here, man. Be that strength for others.
Don't give up.
Be that strength for yourself first, and then you be the strength for others. That can be your motivation. That can be your vision.
Life.
You know, I know the more I help myself, the more I can help people.
That's what it's about.
That is the most important spiritual practice in this world.
It's gonna hurt.
To help mankind.
Sometimes it's gonna get
to
tough.
help others.
But when it get tough, you get tough. Just make sure you make your mark. Make sure you make your mark in this world. Because somebody didn't make it today. But you did. Keep living. Keep living strong.
Like I said,
don't give up.
My brother didn't make it. I did. It was either going to be me or him that died. I lived. So I have the opportunity to not only change myself, but help others to make sure they don't go in the same place. Depression and addiction. This is why I do what I do. Because I know it can save lives. So that is why it's valuable. Even for me, I know people don't value it because it's free. But for me, it's valuable. And that's the most important thing. Thank you.